Wow. John Jones going in on his boss, Dana White, says Wilder is getting more money than him in boxing. He's making more money and asks for a release if he's going to be undervalued. It's going down. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also subscribe to my channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. If you want to become part of the gang, notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the Super Chat channel donations, the Venmo donations, the Cash App, and the Patreon family. We working. I'm going to get started. But first, Patreon link in the description. Sign up. I got new stuff coming. I got that heat rock. So become a Patreon member in the affiliate section of all my videos in the description box, or hit the join button by the subscribe button. Now it's going down. John Jones seems to be upset with his pay, and I think it stems from this. Dana White on why John Jones versus Ngannou won't happen right now. So he's talking with ESPN, and he's dishing on why that fight, because I guess Ngannou wanted it and John Jones said he would move up for it, and he wants that particular fight. And this is what started all this, I'm assuming, because he posted it. For the amount of money John Jones is asking for, it's not going to happen. You couldn't be asking for a more absurd amount of money at a worse time. So Dana White saying with the pandemic, everything going on, you ain't going to get that type of money. And this is the response. Jones says, it's interesting to just sit here and watch your boss lie on camera like this. We never discuss any increase in pay. Immediately, the conversation was that I already made enough. I never made a number offer. So he says his boss is lying, bald-faced liar, right? He goes on to say, I was over the situation, but I'm not going to sit back and allow Dana to lie to the fans. I never asked for an absurd amount of money. That's BS. Ooh, okay. John Jones says, absolute boo. Okay. Let's see what else he said. I'm not going to give up hope. The way I'm taking this whole thing is UFC don't want to budget the John Jones heavyweight move up right now. They should have just said that. Lying on me and saying I asked for too much money is just unfair. That was unnecessary, says John Jones. He goes on and says, you already let me down a bit by shutting down this Francis Ngannou mega fight. Don't add salt to the wound by telling the fans something that's not the truth. John Jones is going off like it's, you know, I'm gonna try to get through all of it. If you're wondering, I'm not fighting with UFC. I'm not mad at Dana or beefing, just surprised he went that route. I said my piece, I'm over it. Okay. Someone says, but are you really over it? He says, no, not really. Ish reminds me of UFC 151 all over again. If you're going to stick to these lies, I'm going to stick to defending myself. Please have your lawyer, Hunter Campbell, release those text messages. So I don't know what happened, but I guess maybe Dana White replied and seen all the commotion and says he has text messages. And then it got, because it started like almost a day ago, you know. So come to my channel for the latest and greatest in boxing and fighting and combat. John Jones continued, don't be a fucking liar. My reputation has already been taking enough hits. I don't need this BS, Dana. I never asked for Deontay Wilder's numbers. And how about since Deontay Wilder is making $30 million, we settle for half of that. Since you said I'm the GOAT and everything. So Deontay Wilder got drugged in the mix because Forbes released a list and Wilder beat Canelo from June to June, roughly June 2019 to June of this year, how much he made in that pay-per-view and his, you know, his fight with Luis Ortiz. You know, Wilder's balling. He says, I don't even make half of what Deontay Wilder makes. If my reputation causes you to undervalue me this much, just go ahead and release me from my UFC contract. Oh, he says he doesn't listen to what the man said. He says, I don't even make half of what Wilder makes. So if my reputation causes you to undervalue me this much, just go ahead and release. Look, he's asking for a release. So he said he wasn't mad, but clearly he still got stuff to get off his chest. He said, just go ahead and release me if you're not going to treat me right out of my UFC contract altogether. I'm sure some promoter somewhere will be more than happy to pick me up. It's going down. And if I wanted to compare money to someone else, I would compare money to my brothers. I see firsthand the way the NFL treats their champion athletes. There's a huge difference. I've kept my mouth shut my whole career. Okay. Do I make $5 million plus per fight? Yes. Should I stick to that number for my super fights? No. If you don't agree with me, you just don't know business. I certainly didn't ask for 30 million, never even threw out a number. So he's saying that's false and Dana White is capping. Man, it's going down. It's really going down. He's saying, stop lying on me. That's not what happened. We didn't even discuss an actual number, but I would fight Ngannou, but it got to make sense if I'm moving up to heavyweight. Let's see if Dana White said anything. No, he's just posting UFC Tyron Woodley. So I don't know. I don't know where Dana White allegedly responded. But that's the latest. Wilder's balling out here. Wilder's out here balling, and it's created kind of a riff. It's created a riff with, see, look, here's the graphic. Highest paid fighters. Tyson Fury made 57 mil. Conor McGregor made 48 mil. Joshua 47.5. Look how close Wilder is to Joshua. And I got to, talk about this separately, but they said Wilder, nobody knows him, and the old media and Eddie Hearn, they said a bunch of lies and spread a lot of lies and propaganda on Wilder's name. Look at how close he is. And he hasn't even fought the third fight with Tyson Fury, which is going to be on pay-per-view whenever it happens. So that number is going to go up. Joshua, on the other hand, will be fighting Kubrat Pulev post-pandemic, so we don't know what type of numbers or is not a bigger fight than Wilder Fury. We know that. So it looks like Wilder has the opportunity to surpass him, which is a separate video I'm going to talk about. But Eddie Hearn, remember, old media is looking over for him. Eddie Hearn was saying that Wilder deserved 12.5 million. So the same things that John Jones, a black fighter, is complaining about. You see how another black fighter in boxing was trying to get treated by Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn said that Wilder was only worth a flat fee of 12.5 million, just a year and a half ago or whatever. And look how much money Wilder said, I'm banking on myself. I'm betting on myself. I'm not signing this DAZN $100 million deal. And look at him. He made more money, according to Forbes, than Canelo from that period to that period. So basically his last two fights versus Canelo. And Canelo got a monstrous deal. It says earnings June 1st, 2019 to June. Conor's balling too. Shout out. I don't know what you're thinking. Mayweather. So he's making a lot of money. Fury making money. Everybody on this list making good money, but I don't know. It's looking crazy. It's looking crazy. I do agree with John Jones. I think John Jones is really the GOAT, of the UFC. He's arguably, him and Anderson Silva, the best fighters that have ever graced the octagon. Yet you see, like, when non-black fighters like Conor McGregor, Ronda Rousey, I'm sure George St. Pierre, you don't see them as much at odds with, you don't see them at odds as much with their pay and stuff like that, where it becomes a public issue. But you have in the UFC, again, a guy who's arguably the best fighter the UFC's ever seen. And he's saying, I ain't even getting half of what Wilder's getting. This is crazy. And I never threw out a number. And you see this discord where Dana White and John Jones aren't seeing eye to eye. So it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. We knew this also, that the UFC fighters definitely don't get anything close to what you can make as an elite level boxer versus the elite level UFC fighters. I don't know the numbers offhand of John Jones' last fight, how much the pay-per-view did, but it's getting real interesting because he's saying he ain't getting basically compensated right, even though he said he didn't throw out a number. And it goes to show you a lot of what old media said is a bunch of lies, saying that Wilder, nobody knows him and he don't deserve this and he'll regret the not taking the $100 million fight. Why? Look how much money Wilder made. Now you have guys, top level guys in the UFC comparing and saying like, hey, I didn't even ask for a number, but like while we're at it, give me half of what Wilder's making. Crazy. Oh, media, you got to do something, baby. Also, sign up for ESPN Plus. The link is in the description of all my videos. Sign up. It does help the channel when you guys click on that link. ESPN Plus, home of a lot of original content, docuseries, 30 for 30s, well put together stuff, exclusives, archive fights from the UFC, and also boxing. They got like Mayweather, Pacquiao, and a ton of other fights. So you don't want to miss it. ESPN Plus, use that link in the description. Or you can even get the bundle, ESPN Plus, Hulu, and Disney Plus. All 3 apps, one price, $12.99. Let me know what you guys think of Jon Jones' latest rant towards his bosses. You know, Dana White in the UFC, him and the pay scale, and how much boxers get versus UFCs. Drop comments on all of that. Jon Jones says, you can't bash me for the undervalue me for like failed drug tests and DUIs and the mishaps he's had in his career. If you're going to undervalue me, just release me. So it's getting pretty serious, it looks like. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. If you love what I'm doing, smash the like button. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video, is Ego signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxingego, the future of boxing.